everybody. Welcome back to Tech Sheck. And once again, we continue bringing you very interesting and cool stories from the Pakistan tech ecosystem. And today we're very fortunate to have another recipient of a significant funding round in Pakistan, and they're working in the consumer goods space. I'd like to introduce Mohammad Atif Sami and Shoaib Ahsan from Omni-Retail. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. And as you may have seen some of our episodes, we don't waste a lot of time. Let's jump right in. Tell us a little more about Omni-Retail. Atif, why don't you lead us off?
Sure. So this product that we have created is a SaaS-based product. The software is a solution product, and what we are providing is actually creating a better access to the logistics partner across Pakistan, and providing sellers to be able to ship their shipments, their orders effectively using our solution without the hassle of integrations, without the hassle of manual labor that they actually normally do, and get into that particular part where they spend a lot of money in that non-automated way, and that's what we actually bring to the table. That's what the solution is all about.
Excellent. Good. And as it stands, gentlemen, what are you seeing in terms of uptake? How's this being received by the marketplace?
So I think we have been for almost a year now that we have been in operation in a way, and we have had people who are home-based sellers, and we have sellers like Khadis, who was one of the biggest retail in Pakistan. So the way that we have been able to pull it off, the way that we have seen market coming in, we feel like that there is a great potential for that, and especially with the COVID sort of scenarios where the normal retail is very down. We believe that now all of these traditional retailers are now facing this particular dilemma of retail. They're really looking forward towards e-commerce and enabling that with the highest efficiency, so that they should be able to somehow counter whatever the revenue that they have lost in the retail in this particular scenario.
Excellent. Good. So, Shoaib, let's talk a little about what's going on with the business. How's the growth of the business? Is there anything you can share on revenue or maybe month-on-month growth?
Right. So the uptake has been pretty good in that sense. Something that's really worked well for us. Obviously, the COVID times have been an unfortunate time for everyone, but we've been sort of like grave diggers because e-commerce has gone through a phase of forced adoption, especially in a country such as Pakistan, and that's really played well for us. Because obviously a lot of people have come to the realization that they need to invest in more automation and building systems around the e-commerce fulfillment process. So that's something that's really worked well for us. Typically, our growth has been somewhere around, if I talk about this fiscal year, it's been somewhere around 40% to 40%, 40-50% month on month. When we talk about specifically about the volume of shipments being generated through our platform, we recently crossed the 250,000 shipments barrier as well, and it's been on the rise. January typically is a month that's in terms of seasonality that things just slow down a bit before the spring lawn season really kicks in, which is somewhere around mid-Feb to March, and that's something that we were actually talking earlier today. We're seeing that uptick again, taking shape. So things are really positive for us, and alhamdulillah, we're also bagging a lot more interest from people, customers, prospective customers, right from smaller sized outfits, SMEs, to more enterprise oriented retail brands, similar to Khadi. So that's something that's really working well for us, alhamdulillah.
Oh, that's great. So tell me a little more about, and I'm hearing a lot about these types of environments being created in Pakistan. Who are your prime competitors?
So when it comes to competition, we'd like to believe that we don't have any competition. I'm sure one comes across this sort of statement a lot of times, but recently, we've been told that there are a lot of copycats springing up. Some of have actually copied our name as well, similar to our name.
Okay.
So that in itself is a compliment to the type of work we're doing. Frankly, we have not really invested in a lot of marketing or anything, but the word has got out that we're building something really good, and we get a lot of people telling us, they're looking at you, they're following you, what you're doing, and we even found instances of where they're actually copying features right down to the name and to the way that we built them. So that's something that's shaping up. But yes, that having that local competition is also important because frankly the e-commerce ecosystem is still at a very nascent stage when it comes to Pakistan. So it's definitely something we want more of. And it obviously helps to have someone breathing down your neck. Otherwise, you can get very complacent and whatnot. But so that's the ecosystem. But when we, in terms of completeness of solution and the way we are looking at things, we are looking at it from an ecosystem perspective. That is why we say that we don't really have competition in that sense.
Excellent, excellent. And Atif, back to you for the last question, and that is, what's the revenue model? How do you guys generate?
Yeah, so the way that we actually had a lot of thinking gone into it, and the way that we wanted to do starting in the start was a bit different. But ultimately, we actually had to dumb it down to a level where it needs to be in a way that these guys are familiar with. So what we have come down to is shipment based. So what we charge is not for the users, not for the features in particular way. We mainly charge for the number of shipments that are being processed by our platform. So that's it resonates very well with the sellers because that's what they are doing with the courier partners also. So what we say is basically the way that we offset our cost is we say that all the people that you actually had to have to process all of these orders, that's where our solution comes in. And that's how you actually offsets the cost, complete operations for the last mile and everything. So our unit economics is basically towards the shipment based, and that's what we are charged for the customers also. We have buckets that we create, obviously for a particular manner, but the way that we do is for new startups, if you have somewhere around 500 shipments per month, we give it for free. So that's how we are enabling people so that they should be able to start using it, start getting to that level. Because our mantra is we make money when you make money. We just don't want to charge you just because you got an order. The order does not mean that I've actually fulfilled properly and you actually got money. So that's why we mainly focus on shipment based, and we say we are your growth partner. As you grow, we take you from home-based seller to an SME slot to an enterprise slot. So we are really betting on these guys, these newcomers. So they should be able to get to an enterprise level by having this sort of a friendly way of charging them.
Right. So question there though, how do you keep these people with you as they grow, right? And with the competition coming.
So the best part is the way that they actually see our value. The moment they see our value, the way that they have been. So a lot of people have done this in a manual way. The
Right.
moment they are able to see, one of the reasons that we started off, well, once we started with Khadi, they started off at a very lower volumes, but soon enough they actually started and they gave us the complete volume because they saw that particular value. So even if a customer and an SME is coming in, we tend to give them the complete demo and we give them a complete oversight of how this solution works and how it actually helps you. And they actually see that this is something that is going to make their journey, their scalability much easier towards the enterprise level that they want to become. So what we have seen is that they are pretty much they stick to us in terms of that because they see this value that we create in terms of their scales. So, case in point, they don't need to hire more people. They don't need to. Actually, we had a couple of instances where our one of our seller who was somewhere around a very nominal sort of per day value and per day orders and went up 10 times, and
Mhm.
he actually reduced his HR because it does not
Actually, it was
require more
60
people.
times.
Yeah,
Wow.
sorry, for my
It
money.
was 60 times their
60 times.
average order value per day. Sorry,
Yeah,
volume, not value. So
volume. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's how they actually saw that they're easily able to scale up, and they're even getting lesser all of this expenses to be done. So that's how that's something has played really well with our clients, the way that they have seen the value. Versus it's very tangible. I tell you what, it's not something that's going to come in a later stage or something. Although there are certain features that helps you in that way, but something that is really immediately you see that value. So I think that's something that has played really well for us.
Great.
and
Good.
then just to add to that, there's also the data angle that we're pursuing,
Mm-hmm.
which allows these sellers to leverage, whatever data that they have generated, not just themselves, but as part of the platform, what other sellers are doing as well. So whether it's customer profiling or courier performance management, so you're able to leverage all of that. So that just kicks into that retention as well.
But phase one was automation, and then now
Yeah.
we are bringing insights from the data in real time manner.
Awesome. Great. Well, gentlemen, we're coming up to the end of the show, as you know. And the last thing I wanted to leave you with, just a quick ask. What can the diaspora do? What are you guys looking for? Money, expertise, anything?
So I think one of the things that we are really looking forward is a lot of people actually ask us, why Pakistan? Why do you want to do in Pakistan? Why don't you actually go? And so we do have our international plans and everything, but what we feel like is that Pakistan has a great value in terms of the things that we produce here.
Sure.
So when we were in Yevo, we actually saw a lot of people coming up with a great products at a village level, at a tier two or tier three cities. So what we believe is that Pakistan has a very good potential in terms of creating these sort of very good products, and that can actually represent Pakistan at a global level. So we are actually working towards that, getting that ecosystem out. So whatever helps the way that these guys can actually refer to these sort of manufacturers. So we see a lot of people who are doing direct exports, but they are not doing it in a retail sort of manner, whereby the Pakistani the population is also getting that sort of benefit from them. So that's something that we feel like that diaspora can actually help us if they want to enhance that ecosystem. That's where they can hand holds with the manufacturer here in Pakistan, and we
Got it.
can
Okay.
give them sort of platform to scale that.
Wonderful.
And from a product perspective, it would also be nice as a tech startup, also be nice to connect with people who have worked with the tech giants, and they can share their experience, their expertise, and help us become a tech giant of our own, a homegrown one, a really homegrown one.
Yeah.
So that would be great to connect with people who could actually help us along this journey.
Excellent. Well, great. Well, gentlemen, our time's up. So thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate that. Very interesting story.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Faruk, for inviting us over here. It's been a real pleasure.
You're welcome. And to our audience, thank you very much for following, liking, sharing, subscribing. We're going past 50 episodes. And you know what? There's no shortage of good stories out there. So please keep referring stories to us. Keep telling us about what we're doing right and wrong. Appreciate your continued support. And with that, I bid you all Allah Hafiz.